Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 1. My name is Ayu Lestari and my friend is Nursifa Hasanah. So we gonna explain about assessing listening. As the lecture that always teach us and give much knowledge about language, testing and evaluation, this assignment is one of English tasks, a paper about assessing listening. Teacher may use several listening tests to check comprehension, evaluate listening skill and use of listening strategies, and extend the knowledge gained to other contexts such as predicting, may expand on the topic or the language of the listening text, or may transfer what has been learned to reading, speaking, or writing activities. Definition of assessment. Assessment is an ongoing pedagogical process that includes a number of evaluate acts on the part of the teacher. Assessment is the process of gathering and discussing information from multiply and diverse sources in order to develop a deep understanding of what students know, understand, and can do it with their knowledge as a result of their educational experience. The process culminates when assessment results are used to improve subsequent learning. Definition of listening skill. Listening is an active and interactional process in which a listener receives speech, sound, and try to attach meaning to the spoken words. The listener try to understand the intended message of the oral text or to respond effectively to oral communication without the ability to listen effectively. Methods are easily misunderstood. So from the above two definition, we can conclude that assessing listening is a process of assessment conducted by a teacher to the student on the ability of student in listening. B is the principle behind teaching listening. First, we should make our tape can be heard all around the classroom. Second, teacher should listen to the tape before take it into the class. The get student engage to the topic and the text so that they really want to listen. For example, they can look at the picture first, discuss the topic, or read the question first and predict what is coming. Once will not enough, but don't hear it too many times. The good way is one student have listened to a tape 2 or 3 times to pick up the things that they miss in the first time. Not just listening, but students should be encouraged to respond to the content of listening, namely is finding meaning and inspiration for a student from the sound of the tape. In listening, may focus on detail of information, language use, pronunciation, and etc. So we should set different tasks for different listening states. Listening become an important even in a teaching quiz rather than just exercise by itself. So it better after play of a tape, teacher can play it again for various kind of study before using the subject matter or situation or tape script for a new activity. Again, C is a basic type of listening. The first one is discriminative listening, and then second is comprehensive listening. The third is critical listening, and the fourth is biased listening. The fifth is evaluative listening, and 6 appreciative listening, and 7 sympathetic listening. 8 is empathetic listening, and 9 therapeutic listening. 10 is dialogue listening, and 11 is relationship listening. For commonly type of listening performance, we have four type of listening performance. The first one is intensive. Intensive is listening for perception of the components like phonemes, words, intonation, discourse makers, and etc. for a larger stretch for the language. Second is responsive, listening to a relatively short stretch of the language. As example, a greeting, question, command, comprehension check, and etc. in order to make an equality short response. Number 3 is selective processing, stretches intercourse such as short monologues for several minutes in order to scan for certain information. The purpose of such performance is not necessarily to look for a global of general meanings, but to be able to comprehend designated information in a context of longer stretches of spoken language, such as classroom direction from a teacher, TV or radio, news item or stories. Assessment task is selective listening could ask student, for example, to listen name, number, a grammatical category, direction, or certain fact and events. And number 4 is extensive. Extensive listening to develop a top-down global understanding of spoken language. Extensive performance range from listening to lecture to listening to a conversation and deriving a comprehensive message or purpose. Listening for the gist for the main idea and making inferences are all part of the extensive listening. Okay, D is bottom-up process and top-down processing. Bottom-up process, bottom-up process to the listener ability to distinguish sound, hear in speech to reconstruct the speaker message. Bottom-up processing refers using the incoming input as the basis for understanding the message. As example, exercise in that develop bottom-up processing help the learner to do such things as the following below. Retain input while it's being processed, recognize word and clause division, recognize keyword, recognize key translation and discourse, recognize grammatical relationship between key element and sentence. Use stress and intonation to identify words and sentence function. Okay, top-down processing. Top-down processing, on the other hand, refers to the use of background knowledge in understanding the meaning of a message. The background knowledge required for top-down processing might be previous knowledge about the topic discourse, situational or contextual knowledge, or knowledge in the form of schemata or script, plans about the overall structure of event and the relationship between them. Each of these stages represent and potential assessment objective. Comprehending observant structure elements such as phenomenon, words, intonation, or grammatical category. Second is understanding of pragmatic context and determining meaning of auditory input, developing the GIS, a global comprehensive understanding. Okay, that's from me, and another explanation will be explained by my friend Nursifa Hasana. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nursifa Hasana. Here I will continue my partner explanation about listening assessment. I will explain about micro and macro scale of listening. In this part, listening has two scale, that is micro and macro scale. And the first one is, what is micro scale? Micro scale is that ability to recognize stressed sound, recognize unstressed sound, rhythmic structure, intonation counters, and signaling information, reduced form, grammatical. So this micro skill means that more external skills, namely the ability to understand listening in terms of structure. Nah, jadi maksudnya micro skill listening ini adalah skill yang hanya berfokuskan pada memahami atau mengenali dari strukturnya. Contohnya tadi seperti grammar, pengurangan kata, intonasi, penekanan, jadi seperti itu. So the ability to understand with the structure. For example, to understand the meaning of listening, when we listen something, we will pay attention to the structure that mentioned by the tab. Jadi contohnya itu saat kita mendengarkan listening itu, kita hanya berfokus untuk memahami makna dari listening tersebut, kita hanya berfokus pada kita hanya berfokus pada hal-hal yang mendasari terdirinya dari tab tersebut atau rekamannya gitu. The next skills is macro skills of listening. Macro skills is ability to recognize the communicative function of utterances according to situation, participants, goal. So when we listen to something, we should pay attention with the doer, who the participant, and here we can membaca dari ekspresinya, body language, and then generalizationnya, what is the information that we can take, and the meaning, like that. So at there we guessing the meaning of words from context, seperti itu. Jadi micro skill listening ini lebih ke skill ke dalam. Jadi di sana saat kita mendengarkan sebuah soal listening, kita akan memperhatikan gerak tubuh dari si pembaca, seperti ekspresinya seperti apa, gerakannya seperti apa, berapa jumlah partisipannya, seperti itu. Baru kita bisa memahami isi dari listening tersebut. Now we are going to the next session is designing tasks. So how to designing tasks yang bagus? Jadi bagaimana sih mendesain soal listening itu yang bagus? The first one is intensive listening. There are some task items that are used in intensive listening. Those are recognizing phonological and morphological elements and paraphrase recognition. Oke, kita akan bahas yang pertama, recognition phonological and morphological elements. Jadi di sini kita memberikan soal listening itu, usahakan hindari kata yang dapat membuat membuat si pendengar itu kebingungan. Jadi bisa hal ini untuk morfologi phonological ini kita bisa memberikan soal yang berhubungan dengan morphology and phonological, such as misalnya berupa kata yang memiliki bunyi yang sama tapi different meaning gitu. sama katanya tapi maknanya berbeda. For example, like his, she's gitu. Tuh mirip-mirip kan suaranya. And then ada there is sea, between sea and sea, antara sea laut and sea melihat gitu. Jadi di sana kita memberikan tes kepada murid, menyuruh untuk murid menentukan phonology and morphologicalnya, mention ya apa-apa aja di situ kata-kata yang memiliki pronunciationnya sama but the meaning is different gitu. The second is paraphrase recognition. Nah, kalau paraphrase recognition ini di sana murid diperuntukkan untuk mengungkapkan ide yang sama dalam kalimat yang berbeda. So, maybe we can memberi soal itu seperti ada dialog or monolog gitu. Terus kita meminta murid untuk mencari ide kalimat itu. Jadi murid itu akan memparaphrase dari meaning dari percakapannya itu, tapi tidak merubah makna seperti itu. Terus the second is responsive listening. Untuk responsive listening ini bertujuan agar si pendengar itu able to mastery the questions such as yes or no, W plus H, 5W plus H gitu ya. 5W plus H question, dan knowing how to get the answer, how to get the good answer gitu. Bagaimana mengetahui bagaimana mendapatkan jawaban yang sesuai. The third design is selective listening. In selective listening, there is three kinds. The first is listening close. For listening close ini, dalam bagian ini si pendengar itu akan mendengarkan sebuah story, listening to story, monolog, ataupun bentuk percakapan. Dan listening close ini help to choose the answer from dari informasi yang spesifik. Bentuk soal dari listening close ini adalah seperti fill in the blank, seperti itu. The next is information transfer. In information transfer technique ini si pendengarnya itu akan mendengarkan arahan yang ingin diberikan ke dalam bentuk visual, such as menandai sebuah diagram, to identify the element from the grammar, or show, menunjukkan jalan dalam sebuah peta, seperti itu. Jadi listening itu seperti kayak arahan-arahan ya, ada informasi yang dituangkan dalam bentuk visual. And the next is sentence repetition. In sentence repetition, the text taker atau si pendengar must retain a stretch of language long enough to produce it, and then must respond with an over repetition of that stimulus. The mistake in repetition is scored as a mistake in listening. Jadi sentence repetition ini lebih menekankan ke kemampuan untuk mengingat, where the listeners itu akan mendengarkan beberapa pengulangan kalimat yang ada dalam teks. Jadi seperti itu, mendengarkan pengulangan kalimat. Jadi misalnya mereka salah, cara menilainya itu seberapa mereka salah itu skornya, berapa salah itu dihitung, seperti itu. Okay, we go to the last listening design text that is here. Extensive listening. Extensive listening, there are three kinds, that is dictations, communicative stimulus response text, and authentic listening text. For dictation ini lebih ke si pendengarnya itu akan mendengarkan bacaan sekitar maybe 50 until 100 sentence yang dibacakan maybe for 3 times. Pada in proses pendengarannya itu, firstly, cara mendengarkannya itu dengan secara cepat tanpa jeda untuk mendapatkan intisarinya. Selanjutnya, di proses selanjutnya ada mendengarkan secara pelan, kemudian menjedanya. Lalu si pendengar ini akan menulis apa yang didengarnya. Jadi si pendengarnya itu pertama-tama akan mendengar bacaan sekitar 50 sampai 100 kata. Kemudian pada proses pertama, si pendengar itu akan mendengarkan secara cepat tanpa jeda untuk mendapatkan intisarinya. Dilanjutkan dengan proses pendengaran dilakukan secara pelan dan menjedanya. Kemudian si pendengar ini menuliskan apa yang sudah dia dapat, apa yang sudah dia dengar. And for communicative stimulus response text ini lebih ke si pendengarnya itu akan mendengarkan sebuah dialog percakapan ya. Namely aja communicative, berarti ada sebuah percakapan. The next is and for authentic listening text, there are 4 types, that is not taking, editing, interpreted text, and retelling. For not taking, in the academic world, classroom lectures, usually by professor, are common features of a non-native English user's experience. One among several formats include note-taking by the test takers. This test is evaluated by the teacher on a 30-point system as follows: 0 sampai 15 points for visual representation, 0 sampai 10 poin for accuracy, dan 0 sampai 5 poin for symbols and abbreviation. And the process of scoring is time consuming and it lacks some reliability. Jadi untuk note taking ini itu ada diberikan catatan-catatan 30 poin sistem ya, biasanya dalam 30 poin. Yang 0 sampai 15 itu poin untuk visual representation-nya, 10 poin itu untuk akurasi, 0,5 poin itu untuk simbol dan abbreviations. Untuk proses note taking ini pengambilan nilainya sangat mengonsumsi waktu karena yaitu perlu memperpoinkan kan, jadi perlu proses yang panjang untuk mendesain teks ini, assessmentnya panjang. And editing provides written and spoken stimulus, and it requires the test taker to listen for discrepancies or differences, scoring achieves relatively high reliability as there is usually a small number of specific identified differences. So, in interpreted text itu, murid akan diminta menyimpulkan dari apa yang sudah didengarnya dengan cara menjawab beberapa pertanyaan in open-ended form di awal atau di akhir bentuk ya, di bentuk awal atau di akhir pertanyaan. And then there is also retelling. In retelling text, the pendengar listen to a story or news event and the simple retell or summarize it either orally or in writing. The text taker must identify the guest's main idea, purpose, supporting points, and or conclusion to show full comprehension. Untuk desain retelling ini, si pendengarnya itu diminta untuk mensummary dari si apa yang sudah ia dengar. Itu bisa berupa disampaikan secara langsung ataupun bisa ditulis. Jadi diharuskan si pendengar itu bisa mengidentifikasi ide pokoknya, menentukan tujuannya, supporting pointnya, poin-poin pendukungnya apa, dan juga bisa memberikan kesimpulannya seperti itu untuk desain retelling. Then that's all from us. Thank you for your kind attention. Hopefully you enjoy this video and get the benefit from this. And thank you for watching. We do apologize if we make some mistakes for this video. And see you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.